right, so it should be all good to go. I just want to double check this scene is good too, yeah. All right. Let's see, make sure this is working. It looks like it's loading on your side.
Yep.
Yes. All right. We are live. YouTube is not my #1 thing. I can mute that one, and that's okay. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me, if everything looks good. Thank you guys. As you know, I normally do these lives on Facebook. So I have John here right next to me, just making sure everything is... You want to say hi?
Hello, everybody.
Making sure everything works. All right, so let's just take a minute to get our highs out of the way. And awesome, so good to see everybody here. Really, really cool. Okay, and then just let's double check if I go to a different scene. Can you hear everything on scene 2? You're okay with scene 2?
Oh, it's a lag.
Oh, it's a lag, okay.
I got it.
Okay, cool. And you can still hear me on scene 2?
Yep.
Thank you, sweetie. All right, fantastic. All right, so this is going to be a long call because I am here to answer all your questions. I have completely booked myself to you guys for the next, hopefully not like more than 3 hours. Hopefully just like 2 hours. I have coffee, I have water, I have Coke in the fridge in the back. I have a lesson that I want to teach you guys. So I have a really valuable lesson. This is not something that I've ever shared on my blog yet. Or I don't think I will, because I just want to give it to you guys because you're amazing. This is really cool. Okay. And then after I do the lesson, we'll go into Q&A and I'll answer any questions that you guys have. Any personal questions, anything that you have regarding your blog, depending on, no matter where you are, if you're just starting or if you've been doing this for a while. I'm honestly just here to help you guys. This is my first time doing this kind of private group coaching call. So definitely just want to help you guys. Okay. Okay, and then if you do have to leave, so I'm just skimming the comments here. If you do have to leave, make sure you put your question when you started in the comment, put all caps question, and then type your question. So the question, then type your question, so that it's easier for me to see it. If you do have to leave, go ahead and drop your question so that I can answer it on the call. Otherwise, if you're here live and you can stay for the whole session, go ahead, still do that question so that it's easier just for me to see them so I don't miss anything. All right. Okay, so first, congratulations for finishing the blog plan and for completing it and filling it out. I completely understand you might not, your plan might change. You have all these blog posts now written out so that you're on this call, so you did the dedication, you did the work. But I'm here to let you know that it's okay if your topics change a little bit, if your schedule change a little bit. Blogging is a continuous improvement process, and I'm going to teach you here how to find which of those, say 50 blog posts that you wrote down, which one is the best one for you, and which one can you rank for, and which one's going to bring you the most traffic. So the first step was like coming up with all these ideas. So congrats on that. And now it's to see which one of the ideas is actually the best to do. All right, so we're going to go into the lesson, and then after that, I'll do the comments and questions. Okay, and yes, there will be a recording. Everybody who got an invite for the call will get the recording. It's not going to be sent out to my entire email list for free. You guys that did the work, you guys get the recording, so yay! All right, so let's switch screens and let's go to the group coaching call. All right, so group coaching call for January 31st, 2019. Last week, I did this on my live, and I'm going to run through this in 1 minute, and then I'm going to get into the new stuff. But I just want to give you a little overview of what we did last week so that if you want to know the whole process from A to Z, I'm just giving you a little refresher in the first minute. So last week I covered the blog plan, how to map out your entire blog, all your blog posts in a whole year. Step 1, you find your main niche. Step 2, say for example your niche was beauty masks. Step 2, you go to Pinterest and find the ideas in Pinterest. So if you search for it, at the top bar you're going to see the main topics under that specific topic that you have. So these are the topics that came up. And if you want to go into detail what we did last week, there is a video on that, but I'm not going to recover that. Then step 3, you categorize those ideas into different categories, and those become the your blog menu. After you have that, you Google for the questions in each topic so that those will give you blog post ideas. I know I gave you guys 8,000 blog post ideas to fill out your blog plan. This is a different method to do it as well to get more ideas. So in Google, you'll Google a specific category and look at the questions that are coming up. So this is the work you guys already did to fill out your blog plan. So I'm super proud of you. I'm just running through it so we get a little bit of a base. You can Google beauty masks or skin or acne problems and then see all the problems in the questions that are coming up in Google. Those are your future blog posts. All right, so that's step 1, getting all these blog post ideas. All right, so you have them. Then we put them into our menu. We categorize them into different menus. And then you fill it out in your execution plan, which is your blog plan, which is exactly what you guys did. Super proud of you. You guys are awesome. Now what? Now that we have all our blog posts planned out and we know what we want to write, how do we know which one is actually the best one to go after? How do I know if I'm going to write a 1,000-word or 2,000-word blog post on this topic, do I even have a chance to rank? All right, so that is what we're going to cover in today's call. All right, are you ready? And it's all using free tools. I do pay for some SEO tools that are insanely expensive, but after I find my key term, I still use this exact process to validate if I want to go after it. So it's free tools. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. All right, so this call is all about finding good keywords that you know your blog will rank for. All right, so it's kind of like, ooh, what can I do? All right, step 1, we need to find your blog authority. All right, so if you just started your blog, your authority is probably very low. If you've been blogging for a year or two, it's probably a little higher. It depends on how much content you have, how helpful your blog has been to other people. So like how many times have they shared it or commented on it? And then also how many backlinks do you have? How many times do other bigger websites link to you? So if you're just starting out, this is a good strategy to know and to work towards. But if you've been blogging for a while, you'll have a faster chance of ranking because Google already has some age to your blog. But let's go into how do we find our blog authority. And an easy way to find that out is to use the Moz bar. So the Moz bar, it's free. You can go to this website and you'll get the slide deck after the call. So don't worry. Let's open it up. So I'm going to walk you guys through Google. All right, there you go. Okay, so if we go to Google, we are in Google now. I have a Moz bar. So it's a Chrome extension. I use Chrome. And then I can click it on up here, toggle it on and off. And what it does, it gives me stats under each of the terms that ranks on Google's page 1. All right, so it's telling me what's the page authority and what's a domain authority. So that specific page really ranks well for the term Google because it is Google. And then the domain authority of Google is pretty high. All right, so YouTube, you can see all these really high domain authority scores. If you're a new blogger, you're not going to rank for the term Google. Let's try something a little bit different. Let's say stay-at-home mom benefits. All right, I'm using this for a reason. All right, so you can see the blogs that rank for this specific term, for that key term, the domain authorities of 54, 63, 71, 92. That's a really good one. And then 15. All right. So you can see there's different blogs on different kind of domain authorities ranking for a specific key term. All right. So first thing that you want to do, you want to type in your blog name, blog. So you just kind of want your blog to show up on Google, and then you'll see what the domain authority is. So for this example, we'll do Mom Life, Happy Life. All right. It's just the quickest way to find your domain authority. For Mom Life, Happy Life, the domain authority is 15. So the blog hasn't been around forever. I think it's about a year old. It has good content on it. The domain authority for it is 15 compared to like Facebook is 100. Pinterest is really high. Start a Mom blog is a little higher. All right, so depending, that's how you find your domain authority. So you want to write that down, all right? Okay, so we have our domain authority. You want to see like how much authority does your blog have, all right? And then next step, we found yours. You just want your blog to show up in Google. After you install the Mozbar, you'll be able to do this. Then step 2, we want to see if people search for something actually. Like one of the key terms. Go through the terms that you have on your blog plan that you just filled out. Say, for example, you have 50 posts. Take those key terms that people are going to be searching for and plug those into Google. And we want to actually see if they have search volume. Is somebody going to be searching for the best travel spots in Maine? Or how to breastfeed at work? Like those terms, the terms that you guys wrote down in your blog plan, put those into Google and we want to see the search volume. But Google doesn't automatically show you the search volume. There is a little app called Keywords Everywhere that shows you the search volume for that specific term. So if you go to Keywords Everywhere, again, it's a free Chrome extension. You can install it. And then what it does is it gives you this little volume. So if we go back to our previous search, stay-at-home mom benefits, we can see that has a search volume of 390 per month. All right. So that is what Keywords Everywhere is showing you. It also shows you related keywords here at the side and volume. So those would be great to, if you're writing an article about stay-at-home mom benefits, you can include these related keywords in that blog post, which hopefully if your blog post is really good, it's going to rank for these as well. So it's not just going to rank for this one term, but it'll rank for the reasons to be a stay-at-home mom. Being a stay-at-home mom is hard. Like that's something you can include in that. And then people also search for, this is again from Keywords Everywhere, you can look at all these terms and these can be future blog posts. Because they're related to this topic, it's probably something that you already blog about. These can be future blog posts that you can also write. If they're very closely related to this key term, I would just include that in that key term and then make a monster article about that. But advice for husbands of stay-at-home moms, that could be a solo article that's not exactly in the same article as this one. They can be two different ones, all right? So this is how you get all these amazing ideas of what to write about, and you see that people are searching for it. So instead of writing an article, stay-at-home mom roles, which this is not the Bible, this is not 100% accurate, but you can see, okay, stay-at-home mom roles has much lower search volume than stay-at-home mom benefits. So definitely write this article instead of the other one, all right? So it's going to help you know what to write and what people are searching for without having an audience. You don't need to poll your audience, especially if you're just starting out. You don't have an audience, so just use Google. Google is telling you what people search for. All right, next back to the slideshow. All right, so again, we covered, it shows you related keywords. It shows you what people search for. And then number 3, we're going to find out what is good. We want to find out what's good for you. Find your target keyword, because you're not going to rank for something like, golly, what's a hard keyword to rank for? The best computers on the internet. Like that is a very competitive key term, best computers, because people know people are in a buying mode. They're going to go through that top results, find the best computer and make a purchase. And the affiliate commission on a computer is pretty darn high. So that's a really hard term to go after. So let's look. Let's say the best computers. We'll see. All right, so super high search volume. Look at the sites ranking for this right now. 91, 91, PC Mag, Tech Radar, Best Buy. A new blog is not going to rank for best computers. All right, so your blog is going to have some authority to be able to rank for a key term like that. All right, so we're going to have to find a key term that your blog can rank for and that has some search volume behind it. All right, so what we want to do is you want to go through the key terms that you've put into your blog plan, and you want to find if there is at least 100 or more searches. It doesn't have to be 18,000. You just want to know that people are searching for this. And then after you have a key term that people actually search for, 100 or more is fine. Then find on that first page if there are any of the blogs or the websites that rank for that term, are any of them with a low Moz score that's similar to yours or even lower than yours. if there are blogs on the first page that have a Moz score of 2 or 3 or maybe even like 20, then that's something that you have a chance of ranking for. So at least it's telling you this is a good key term, and do you have a chance for ranking for it? That's the combination between the Moz score and the keywords everywhere. All right, so next one. So the good target or a good target keyword is, again, it has high volume, so it has some volume. I know most of you guys are starting out, so you at least want to have some volume for that key term. And I even go after like keywords of volume of 100 or 200, 300, because if it's a very specific affiliate key term, I know that people are ready to buy. It's going to be lower search volume, but higher conversions. So I'm okay going after a keyword that doesn't have thousands of volumes or search volume, because I know that if I do rank for that really well, it's going to convert really well. All right, and then again, I look for, are the sites already ranking for that key term? Are they lower or even with my domain authority? That gives me a chance, will I rank for that or not? All right, but I have some good news, because you're probably thinking, well, my domain authority is like 8. So how am I going to rank for stuff? There are always exceptions. That's good stuff. All right. Okay, so exceptions. You can rank even if your site is small or you haven't been around that long. You still are able to rank, and I'm proof of that, because if you look for the benefits of being a stay-at-home mom, let's go back to that key term. Good search volume, especially for a new blog. Really good. But you can see all the blogs ranking for this on page 1 are 55, 93, 63, 90s, right? How is my little blog, Mom Life Happy Life, at a domain authority of 15 ranking for this term on the first page? Pretty cool, right? That's awesome. So that should give you some confidence that even if your blog is small, you can still get on the first page of Google. And here are the tips that you can do that's in your power to help your terms get more traffic. All right, so you can see here from the Moz score. Okay, so most of these have links back to this specific page. 100 links, 4 links, 51 links, 18 links, 1 link, woohoo! 8 links. So yeah, it's ranking for a pretty competitive term. I mean, it's the smallest blog on the first page. So I'll show you how I did that. And again, we have another one, stay-at-home mom apps. If we go back. That one has a search volume of 320. And again, you can see sites like 77, Domain Authority 77, 32, 49 are ranking for this on page 1. But so is my blog. My blog is ranking the 3rd search result. It's a domain authority of 15, so it's the smallest one on that first page. Yep, smallest. It has 1 link back, so that is one way that you can increase your authority of a page, even if you're a small blog. You can have people link back to your blog or to that specific post, because that specific post will rise up if more people link back to it. And you want bigger sites to link back to you. So sites with a little bit more authority. If authoritative sites link back to you, that will make that article rise up. Again, that's one thing you could do. You can have more content. So you can write a longer article, a more in-depth article. On this example, you can see it's 28 life-changing apps. I love that title. Instead of 7. So 28, 10, 10, 10, 16. That might be another reason why this is ranking so well, because it has 28. So it's a longer post. It has more examples. All right. So that's another thing that's in your control, what you can do. Social proof. So the more times somebody shares this on Pinterest or Facebook, those are all indicators to Google that this is a good article and that it should be rising up in search results. Another form of social proof is more like social engagement. So depending on how many comments you have on that post, the more comments you have on a post, the more you're telling Google that, hey, people like this, they're actually taking the time to comment on it. And let's see. Let's see if we have comments on this one. Yeah, look at that. We got some cool comments on here. Awesome. So that's showing Google that people engage with this this piece of content. All right. So just like there's an exception that you can rank as a small blog for a post that is very competitive, so you can do that, and there's things that you have a control over, like the backlinks, your content, and then your social proof. Also, if you look at keywords everywhere, it's not always perfectly accurate. So there might be some key terms that you want to write about that you know people are searching for, but keywords everywhere is not showing you any search volume. For example, how to start a bullet journal. How to start a bullet journal, keywords everywhere is showing you 0 volume. And if you guys have been in the blogging world for more than a month, you know that bullet journaling is hot and people love it. And it's a cool little productivity hack. It definitely does not have 0 search volume. It is pretty popular. How to bullet journal. Maybe that one would be a better term to go after. Okay, there you go. How to bullet journal, 8,000. So also, like, change your key terms just slightly. It might not be showing you accurate results. All right. So just know that these tools are there to help you. No tool is perfect. No tool at all on the internet is perfect. But it's because that you're hardworking and that you're putting your expertise and your knowledge, and you make the tools work. All right. So the tools are not going to make you successful. It's you. All right, and then step 4, again, the things that you can control, even if you have a new or small blog, the things that you can control to get your blog post to rank on the first page of Google is you can work on getting backlinks, so you can guest post on other blogs. You can work on getting engagement on your blog post. So at the end of a blog post, always have a call to action, ask people to comment, get their engagement on that post. You can share it more on Pinterest and Facebook. The more social shares you have, the better it looks to Google, the higher it's going to rank. The length of content, that's completely up to you. So you can write more, you can list more examples. There's some competitive keywords that actually, instead of just, and it's funny to see how people, like, how the bloggers really, like, we work hard on our stuff. Where's the best apps for moms? Best apps for moms. I think that's the one. But you can see, okay, 25, 10, 7, 25. Sometimes, here's the 28 one. Sometimes you see these posts get so ridiculous. It's like 200 best life-changing apps for moms. So you can see they're trying to, like, compete against each other. But it works because people like long lists. So that's something that you're in control over. I kind of find it funny. And then obviously your site structure as well. So when you're writing blog posts, make sure to interlink between different blog posts. If you're writing a post this week, make sure to link back to the blog posts that are related to it that you have written in the past. And then this new blog post, go back to older blog posts that relate to it and increase the linking between them. All right, so that's something that you're in control over. Now, just a little note, there is something known as the Google Sandbox. So if you started your blog today, it's going to take you some time for Google to realize that you are out of the toddler phase. And it's kind of like, if you can start walking at that time, that sweet spot around a year old, if your blog can start walking, then Google starts taking it seriously. And it's like, okay, well, this blog has been around for a year now, a year to 18 months. It has consistent content on it. The content's good. And then at that time, you'll see your Google search engine, kind of like your traffic, spike up more. But SEO is a long-term game. So I wanted you to have this lesson so you know what to write about and if you have a chance to rank for it. Even if your site is small. Again, these key terms that you're finding here on Google, these key terms work in Pinterest as well. Because it's the same people. Like, people, that's what they search for. If they're searching for something in Google, they're going to somewhat use the same key terms in Pinterest as well. And I've been seeing really good success with using key terms that I find in Google and then using them on Pinterest instead of vice versa. So that's a little key term or a note for you guys to take. Okay, so blogging, again, as you guys know, before I get into the Q&A, blogging is a long-term game. It's to scalable income. So once you start making money with blogging, it can grow and grow and grow, and it can get really to a really healthy level with you still putting in the same amount of work, but the income is growing, which is amazing. For Google, create content today with the intent of it ranking in a few months. So it's not going to rank next week. It's going to take some time. Unless your blog has a domain authority of 50 or above, it could rank next week. But if your blog is still small, it's going to take a while to rank. For the time being, use Google to find those key terms that people are searching for, and then share them on Facebook and Pinterest to start building that social proof, so that when Google is like, okay, you're old enough, I'm going to start looking at you, then you have the social shares, you have the comments, you have the great content, and then your search traffic will start increasing. Okay, write content that people are searching for. Again, the first part of this lesson, that covers that. And then your goal should be to aim and serve. The money will come. I've seen this again and again. The bloggers that help the most people, they're the people that make the most money. The ones that are just like give all their time and all their knowledge away and just really engage with their readers, those are the people that are making the most money. So I've really seen that as just, use that as your inspiration. And I posted this on my page a couple days ago. People really liked it. Don't give up before helping at least 1,000 people. That's your goal when you're just learning how to start a blog. Help 1,000 people, because once you've done that, it'll be easier to monetize. All right, so you guys will have access to the slide deck, all these tips, and I hope that really helps you understand like how to find key terms. You don't need expensive tools. You don't even need to pay for tools. Both the Moz and Keywords Everywhere was free to use. All right. Now we will go into questions, now that I've covered that, and I will drink some coffee. Again, if you have a question, you guys are awesome. You're putting question in front of it so that I can get to it. I'm going to scroll to the top and go from top to bottom, okay? Okay, if you guys like that, if you like that lesson, let me know in the comments too, so at least I know that I did well. Because on these YouTube lives, I don't get any thumbs up or hearts. So it's like I'm talking, I hope I'm doing the right thing. So just let me know if you guys like that. Okay. Whew, let me take a breath, because this is going to be a nice long session. Okay, from Heidi. If one of the key terms on Pinterest had 2 words, let's pretend it's writing and editing, should you type into Google writing and then editing, or everything together like writing and editing? Gosh, I would do both. I would almost keep it simple. I would almost split them apart, Heidi. Like, people have different intentions for writing and editing. How do I write an article is a different intention than how do I edit an article. So I would split them apart, because you can see like they're different actions. And you can also, when you go into Google, you can see if what's the search volume, writing a new book or editing a new book, and you'll see like, can I rank for this and what's the volume? So I would split them apart. Okay, Liana says, is it okay to have menus but nothing, no blog posts under them, or is it better to create the different menus items after you have some posts on those topics? Liana, I would create those menu items after you have some posts, at least 1 or 2 posts under those topics. Just from a user perspective, if somebody comes to your blog and they go to a menu item and it's empty, it looks like your blog's not complete. So I would rather enable those menu items and add them once you have blog posts, at least 1 or 2 underneath it. Cool. Hi, Mary. Cool. Okay, Heidi again. Is it better to write the titles as statements most of the time, as you said, or is it better to write the titles as questions? How about the headings within the blog post? Oh, golly, let's think. How do I start a bullet journal? How to start a bullet journal? Let me think. Sometimes it depends. Like, sometimes I've seen Google rank questions in the URL, like what to write in your bullet journal instead of things to write in your bullet journal or ideas to write in your bullet journal. Also know that one blog post could rank for multiple different key terms. So if you write a blog post on how to start a bullet journal, it could rank for how to start a bullet journal, what to write in your bullet journal, what products to use when you're doing a bullet journal. Like, depending on how meaty that article is and how much content you have in it, it could rank for multiple key terms. So you want to target one, but it could pick up some like bonus ones on the side. And then Heidi, I would do it as statements. In the headings in your blog post, I would do questions, Because I think that would be pretty good to Google, right? So when you're writing your blog post, you have the statement how to write a bullet journal. And then as your headings, your H2 and H3 headings, what products to use or what should I use to create a bullet journal? I mean, you can do either questions or statements. Either one works. They have the same intention. The person who's reading it is going to benefit from it. Heidi, what are your best resources for catchy blog titles? There is, what is it called? Headline Analyzer. Yeah, from CoSchedule.com. So the Headline Analyzer from CoSchedule.com is pretty neat. You can type in headlines here. So how to edit a new book. And then it'll tell you kind of what you're ranking for, 7 steps or 78 steps to edit a new book. So you can see that one ranks a little bit, 70, 73. Anyway, well, Headline Analyzer is kind of nice because it's telling you, like, do you use too many common, uncommon words, emotional words, power words? I think it's a cool little tool that you can use to make sure that you're using catchy headlines. All right. Mandy says, question, what paid tools do you use? For keyword research, I use Ahrefs. It's around $200 a month. It's really pricey, but I like all the data that it gives. Other paid tools that I use is, well, as you guys know, Divi. I use Divi. I use my hosting companies, 3 different ones because I want to test them all out to make sure that you guys pick the right one. So I'm like testing out the chat support and phone support on every single hosting account to make sure that that I'm recommending the right ones. Paid tools, ConvertKit, I pay for that. I pay for Teachable. I think that's it. All right. But yeah, if you were asking for SEO, it's Ahrefs. I pay for Ahrefs. Heidi says, are the paid tools that are insanely expensive worth it to you? Yes, if I use them and if I use them correctly, then yes, they're very, very helpful. If I know how to use them and I use them correctly, because even now I've been using Ahrefs for a couple months, and then last week I discovered a new part of Ahrefs. I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice. This is helpful. So it also helps to know how to use the tool. Patty says, what tips, plugins, tools do you recommend for image compression and improving your site load speed? All right, so Patty, for image compression, it is called, what is it called? I'm going to look at my blog and get the the name of it for you. But I do use something, I think it's called Short Pixel. Short Pixel is the thing that I use to compress my images. I think it was on an AppSumo deal, so I got it for a discount, but it's really helpful. And then John has a really good article on all the tools that he uses to make his site load in like 2 seconds or 1 second. He is obsessed with site speed. Bluehost. Okay. And I think John is on the chat, but I'm going to drop that in the links. All right. So that's a really good article for you to read, Patty. Okay. Where do you write your blog drafts, Susie? I write them in Google Docs. I write them in Google Docs. And once I'm 80% done, then I transfer them over to WordPress, and then I'll complete them there because I like doing all the linking and all the images in WordPress, but about 80% of it I write in Google Docs. Can you do a presentation on how you follow the process you taught us in the Pinterest Endless Topics to write a structure outline for a blog? Can you do a presentation on how you follow the process you taught us to write a structure outline for your blog? In the Blog by Number course, which most of you guys are in, there's 3 templates. I would use the SEO pillar post template if you want to rank for something. So use that template in the Blog by Number course. It's really helpful. Basically, it's just taking those headings, those questions that you get from Google, and turning those into H2 headings on your blog post. And then the process to get the endless topics from Pinterest, that video is on the live that I did. It's on my blog. So I'll make sure to send that to you too. It is what topics to write about for your blog. People loved it. All right, so I'll drop that for you too, Heidi. Heidi says, where do you actually store the questions you get from Google so to have them ready to start a blog post? Since you guys know, like, John's only been home this month so far, so this month I'm having more capacity. Now I can do this this group coaching call. So I've always just kind of done the research right then and there and then write the blog post. So I've never had like blog posts planned out or tons of the ideas already written down. I might like have a key term I want to go after. I might have a list of those, but actually the questions and all the research and the outlining of it, that happens when I write it. I might be able to do more planning now, but other than that, no, I don't store everything. Beth says, how do you grow your Pinterest? So Beth, what I do for Pinterest is I use Tailwind. I manually loop on Tailwind, and I also use the looping feature. Both have their pros and cons. They're both kind of nice tools to use. I like the looping feature that Tailwind has because it's showing me which of the pins are doing the best, and then I can take them out of the loop and I can add new ones in and kind of see how they do in the loop. And it also lets me not have to, like, I can let Pinterest go for a little bit, for a week or two, and focus on other bigger projects. So the looping feature is helping me free up capacity. But in general, how do I grow my Pinterest account is I create like multiple pin images for each blog post. So more than one pin image for each blog post in different styles too. I'm not one to stick on brand on Pinterest. I'm always kind of experimenting on Pinterest. So I'm doing tons of little different styles to see what works. And then I also have very niche boards. So if you can't get into a lot of tribes or group boards, you can create super niche boards. Like, say, for example, a board about living rooms in townhomes. Like, how can you organize your furniture in a townhome to make it look pretty in a small space? So that could be one group board. And then townhome kitchens or townhome bathrooms or townhome courtyards if your niche is townhomes or small living or tiny living. So I would create super niche boards on Pinterest and then create multiple pin images for each blog post. Liz says, how do you figure out what is the most important way to spend your time? There's so much to focus on at once. Yes, that is a very good question, Liz. All right. So depending on where you are in your blog and what stage you're in, it's going to depend on what to focus on. Gosh, I want to show you guys an example of, it's here. It's in this blog post. Let me get it for you guys. Because it's easier when you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so it was in my time management post on how to grow your blog. Here you go. The building blocks of blogging. So depending on what stage you're in, I wonder if I can see this better. I'm going to zoom in. There you go. Oh, no, that's really huge. I think that's going to work. Okay, cool. So depending on where you are in your blog, you want to focus on different things. In the beginning, just focus on content creation, on your blog posts, your videos, your About Me page, your homepage. Then move on to list building. After you know and understand these, it doesn't mean it ends. You stop list building. It just means you understand how to do it. Then you move on to the next thing, guest posting, social media, SEO. After you have that under your belt and you're still doing it, like you add on to your workload, but your workload gets easier because you understand how to do these things. Then you start working on monetization, then product creation, then advanced funnels, and then growth. All right, so if you need to know kind of where you are, this is the process that I followed that's helped me. So the building blocks of blogging is super helpful. I'm just going to copy that and drop that in the comments for you. Okay. Okay. Question about how far down into the Google questions do you go? Do you get the first 5 questions, first 10 questions, first 20? As far as you can. Sometimes they start becoming unrelated. So I would include all the questions that are relatable to that specific blog post. Anything that people would ask about that blog post, I would include in that blog post if I wanted to rank. So could be up to 20 questions, but not all of them are going to be specific and very well related. So go as far as you can. Okay, question. What is PA in the Moz bar next to DA? Domain authority and page authority. So kind of how many links does that specific page have to that specific article? Because your blog overall has an authority, and that might rank really well, but that specific page might be something you just published yesterday, so it's kind of new to that specific key term, so the page authority is not that high yet. Mary says, similar to Heidi's, I love the blog map, and I'm working on that, but I'd love to see what Susie does next, please. All right, so after you have your topics, now to actually start writing them, gosh, how am I gonna? Here, I'll walk you guys through it at a high level. Okay, that's what you guys are here for, right? So let's go to Drive. Let's create a new doc. All right. So like I said, I write about 80% of my blog posts in Google Docs, and then I transfer it. So let's see, benefits of being a stay-at-home mom. That's our key term. All right, so we're just going to copy that, put that in our title, just so that I know that's what I'm going off of here. So I'm going to do my intro, my body, and my conclusion. Those are the different parts of my blog post. Okay, so if we take this and we put this into Google, you can see, okay, it has search volume. Let's say, for example, your blog has some domain authority, so you feel confident that you can rank for this, or maybe you just get lucky and Google likes your article and you have good social proof and it ranks it. All right, so what we can see here is, do stay-at-home moms get paid? What is the value of a stay-at-home mom? That's a great one. So we're going to take that and we're going to add that into our body. What does a stay-at-home mom do? That's a good one. How much do they make? So these are all about money. So we kind of don't want to talk too much. Like if that's your focus, maybe like one of the benefits could be like you're saving money, because there's multiple ways that you could save money as a stay-at-home mom. How many stay-at-home moms are there? What's the best way to be a stay-at-home mom? What are stay-at-home moms called? That could be like a beginning one, right? So in your intro, think about the questions. Are they more for like the beginning intro? What is your specific key term? So this is all about like, what is the key term? Okay, what are stay-at-home moms called? What is a stay-at-home mom? And then you can go through that. So the beginning is just like an intro to the benefits of, or the introduction to what is a stay-at-home mom. And then this would be like, list the benefits. Benefit number 1. You can save money. And it can be like, what's the value of a stay-at-home mom? You can save, and you can start putting your body in here, save $40 a day by doing this or whatnot. All right. So then you can have your benefits in here. And each of these questions could be part of the benefit or could be the title, the H3 heading. So this would be the benefits of being a stay-at-home mom. So that's in the H2 heading. And then when you start listing the benefits, those are in H3 headings. All right, so because they're sub these. And what you can do here, you can put them in H2 headings here. And then when you copy it over, and these are all paragraph text. If you copy this over, if you've written it, you copy it over to WordPress, it'll keep that this is an H2 heading and this is an H3 heading. So that's helpful. So that's why I write most of it, like 80% of it here, and then I transfer it over. And I'll just go through any of these questions that I can have You even include housewife. So that's kind of why I like these questions, because as a stay-at-home mom, I would not even think about putting housewife. But if you see, okay, people are like searching for the term housewife, then you can include housewife in your blog post, and then hopefully it'll pick up some peripheral keywords that it ranks for as well. All right. So that's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I really like these Google questions, because it's giving me words and verbiage that I would never use in some of my, oh my gosh, I'm an obedient wife. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, and then also you can go to the related keywords. You can add these as H2 or H3 headings, and then you can explain them in the body. So this helps you also create blog posts quicker, because Google is giving you 30% of the content. It's giving you your headings, and you can fill out your entire outline, and then all you have to do is just go and add the meat to it. All right, so this helps you create blog posts faster, so you at least know where to start and what to write about. Okay. Okay, Beth, how do you structure your day or week? Beth, it always changes. So whatever I tell you right now is going to be different next week or 2 weeks from now. When I just started my blog and it was full-time, me being mom and not having any help, I would work late at night, early in the mornings, or when the kids nap. So it was kind of just trying to fight to find time whenever. It was really hustling. Once a week, I would ask my husband if I can go to Starbucks and just kind of have a me date. And I would write a blog post or write my weekly email or do something that's time intensive. Now that John is home, we switch off every 2 hours. So I get 2 hours, and then he gets 2 hours working upstairs, and then the other parent is downstairs with the kids. So it's amazing, and it's a godsend, because neither of us gets overwhelmed. Because being with kids 24/7 is amazing, but it is very overwhelming, because it's 3 little people giving you requests 24/7. And if one request is not even done yet, the next one is coming. So it's being bombarded. So then we can come upstairs, I can do my work, I answer emails, I do these lives, and then we switch off. And then around 4 o'clock, we're done for the day. We go out as a family, we go do something at a park, we go to the gym, we have dinner, we do bedtime together, and then around 7, 8 o'clock, we'll come upstairs again and do a couple hours of work. We're either doing work early in the morning, waking up before the kids, or doing work late at night after the kids go to bed. We can't do both. And then recently, what's worked for us is working late at night. Just kind of have to find what works for your schedule, and that's what's working for us right now. But I do have a super long blog post about every single thing and every different schedule I went through, depending on how many kids I had and how much I was working on the blog. And I can drop a link to that here as well. That's for you, Beth. All right, Heidi says, question: on average, how long does it take you to write a blog post, edit it, publish it, create a pinned image, and work on SEO? About a week. Yeah, definitely a week. It takes me a long time to write. I'm a very slow writer. Yeah, it takes a long time. So about a week if I really put in to write the blog post. The hardest part for me is actually writing it. It just takes me a long time. Creating pinned images is like eating my cupcake. I love creating pinned images, so like I can't wait to finish the article so I can create some images for it. And then the editing it is also time consuming, because you have to make sure you're linking to the right other articles. Everything looks good. You have to test it on mobile and on desktop and make sure like everything looks cohesive, and then you publish it. All right. And then like that's half of your work. So then you have to actually start getting it out there and getting shares and comments and so on. So yeah, it takes time. Oh goodness. Don't want to lose questions. Where am I? Oh Lord. Okay, cool. I'm like highlighting the question so I don't lose my spot. Oh, cute. Okay, Heidi. When creating the editorial calendar with your blog map with the colored post-its, is it better to go by the color post-it or presenting blog posts in chronological order? The color post-its was just there to help you to understand that not every single blog post needs to be, there's a purpose to every blog post. It's either to convert to sales, to affiliate sales, to grow your email list, or to get more traffic, or even to be like a little bit emotional and get like social shares. So that's just there to like help you understand. Each one has a different purpose, so you can change it up. Okay. Okay. Patty says, do you have any tips for getting started with guest posting? Yeah. Go to that's a weird button. Just go to websites that are similar to yours, that have a higher domain authority, serve a similar audience, and then just sign up for their newsletter or find their contact me page and send them an email and let them know, hey, I see that your blog caters to these people. These are the types. So do some research. Make sure you know kind of what they're blogging about. Kind of follow them for a little bit so you can see what kind of message and tone they have. And then when you reach out to them, give them 3 suggestions of blog topics that you think would be great for their audience, and be like, hey, I have knowledge on this. I would like to guest post and write an article for you. These are the 3 ideas that I have. Are you interested in any one of them? If so, let me know. People love getting guest post submissions, especially if they are well in line with their blog topic. Like sometimes I get people reaching out to me wanting to submit guest posts on treadmills or archery. Like that doesn't line up at all with my topic. So you kind of know that they didn't do their research. But if you pitch to somebody who is in a similar niche, serves the same audience, I'm happy to accept guest posts, because that means I have less work to do. I have somebody else giving me all that content. They get a backlink and get exposure, and I get free content. So it's a win-win. Okay. Aaron says, is backlinking when another blog links to your blog post? Is there anything more to that? That's pretty much it. There's different types of backlinks, Aaron. There's a no-follow backlink and then a follow backlink. And if it has no follow, if somebody on their HTML code links to your blog, but then they put a little no follow HTML code next to it, that means you can know none of the SEO power or juice back to your blog. So you want the link to be a follow link. Say, for example, I have somebody who mentioned me on Forbes, and then he made it a no follow link. So woo! I mentioned on Forbes, but I get none of the SEO power because it's a no follow link. So that's pretty much it. That's what backlinking is. Sandra said, what worked for you in terms of promoting and getting traffic during your first year of blogging? Pinterest. Pinterest worked really well. Creating different pin images, testing different pin images. Pinterest is really well for just starting out and getting that quick traffic. But then what I taught today is going to help you write the right types of blog posts, so that when your Pinterest traffic is doing well and your Facebook traffic is doing well, then eventually your Google traffic is going to catch up with that. Sorry, the kids are just screaming downstairs. Cool. Mandy says, before launching my blog to be live, what do I need to have up from day one? Several blog posts, about me, privacy, etc. So, okay. So if you're just launching your blog and you click that live, you can click that anytime. Like, go ahead and publish your blog and make it live on the internet. This is a good and bad thing. Nobody's going to find it because it's a brand new blog. It's not going to rank for anything. And if you don't start promoting your blog, people aren't going to like just find it magically. Maybe, but very unlikely. So go ahead and make your site live. That's okay, because that shows Google like, okay, that site is live. It starts getting age. But I wouldn't start promoting and actually like launching your blog, which in the term means you're promoting it on Facebook, you're promoting it on Pinterest, you're creating YouTube videos. I wouldn't start promoting it until you have a handful of blog posts, say 3. 3 is fine. Your About Me page, and which other one? And your privacy and disclosure if you're using affiliate links. All right, so at least have those up, those basic things, and then you can start promoting it. But you can make your site live anytime so that you can start seeing it, what it looks like in real time. But launching it, promoting it, do that once you have a little bit of a meat around it. Lisa says, on my teaching blog, Start a Mom blog, homepage, is it static or a landing page? Creating a start here kind of guide. Yeah, it's definitely a landing page. So, static landing page. You can see some people have, let me see if I can find it. 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 Let me see if I So this is from Lindsay. So her homepage is dynamic. So you can see it's a blog roll. This is her homepage. And then if you go to Start a Mom blog, this one is static. So anytime any changes happens on this page, I have to manually go edit it. So all of this is very static. It just stays like this unless I go edit it. Mom Life, on the other hand, is a combination between the two. So it's dynamic because as soon as new blog posts are published, they would show up here, but the layout of it stays static. So it's just an easier way because it has more content. It gets more content frequently. I have it laid out like this so that you can see the blog post quickly. All right, so just different types. Robin says, this is about the setup. I have a theme with no sidebar. Is that a problem? Is a sidebar necessary? No, you don't have to have a sidebar. On my more recent blog posts, I actually removed the sidebar just because it distracts from the message, and I have a goal with every blog post, so I don't want them to be distracted by the stuff that's on the side. I want them to be focused on that specific blog post. If it's a quicker blog post and it's kind of just a traffic generation blog post, then I might keep that sidebar because what I want them to do is just generate more traffic on my blog. So, but no, sidebars aren't that necessary. You can remove it if you want to. Cool. Nicole says she likes it. Cool. Lisa says, if your Pinterest traffic is steadily increasing by your email signups or blog traffic, how do you increase it? But not your email signups or blog traffic. So if your Pinterest traffic is increasing, that should relate to your blog traffic increasing. All right. So otherwise, it might just be that your pins are being more seen on Pinterest, but nobody is clicking through to actually come and see your blog. So your Pinterest stats might be looking better, but your blog and your email subscribers is not, because people are seeing your pins on Pinterest, but they're not clicking through. So what you could do is, for those posts, Lisa, that are doing well, create a second pin image and create some curiosity in that title. So so that you get people to actually click through. Or you can promote a freebie on your pin image. So for them to get the freebie, they have to click through and come and see it. All right, so you want to create some curiosity so that more of the traffic from Pinterest doesn't just stay there, but they actually click through and get to your blog. And that will help your email signups as well, especially if you're promoting a little freebie on that pin image. Cool. Patty says she loves this. Awesome. You guys are liking it. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Guiding Autism says, what if your niche is very small? Homeschooling autistic children doesn't really have that terms that rank. All right, so you're doing homeschooling autistic children. I would look at the higher level term and do homeschooling, and then research everything you can about homeschooling and just apply to autistic kids. So how do I start homeschooling autistic kids? What curriculum should I do for my homeschooling for autistic kids? So you can just add that as a subcategory, but look at homeschooling in general, and then just add your niche, which is awesome, to that. All right, so I know a mom, she does homeschooling and she teaches Jewish, and she's making a full-time income with it. All right, so she is teaching her kids how to speak Hebrew, not Jewish, how to speak Hebrew. Sorry, guys. So it's Hebrew homeschooling, and she's making a full-time income. So I think you have an amazing niche, super helpful. I know homeschooling is very, very popular right now, and autism is as well. So we want to help those people. You have an amazing heart. I love that niche. Definitely like it. Cool. I'm glad you guys like this. You didn't know about the Moz toolbar. Cool. You guys like the lesson. Cool, 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 cool. Question from Robin. People are reading my blog and commenting on social media, but they are private direct messages. Grr. Why they wouldn't post publicly, I don't know. Robin, maybe your niche is something that people, say for example, I don't know what your niche is, but what if it's about weight loss? So I don't want to publicly comment on a post that says, yes, I kind of want to lose 10 pounds. Maybe it's something that they don't really want to show publicly. That could be it. Good. I'm glad you guys are liking this. Oh, my outfit. Yes, my sweater. I barely wear sweaters because it doesn't get that cold in Florida, but it's like 40 today, so it's freezing. Oh, cool. Candace says, "Hi, Candace. When you say use the keywords in your blog, should we use the exact phrase and the related phrases we see on Keywords Everywhere?" Candace, if they work well and if it seems natural in your blog post, yes, use them verbatim. If it doesn't flow naturally, then tweak them so that they flow more naturally. Google is going to, over the years, they've gotten much smarter, so they're not looking for exact matches, but they're looking for kind of the similar matches and the user's intent. So if that exact phrase matches with your intent and it flows nicely, use it. If it doesn't, use a variation of it. Cool. Awesome. Lisa says, "Where can you get inspiration for ebook or course creation topics? I can't figure out what I can teach since I'm a lifestyle blog." All right, so okay, Lisa, what are your in your categories for your lifestyle? Again, you can go to Google, because I mean, Google is telling you exactly what people are searching for. I know a lot of people say poll your audience, and if you do have an audience and you have an email list, that's great. You can run your idea by them and ask them if they would be interested in it. But if you have no audience, I would advise building an audience first before you launch a product because it will be more successful. But if you want to create a small ebook, maybe something you sell for $9 or whatnot, maybe start small and then go a little bigger than there. You can look at your lifestyle posts. Maybe it's weight loss. Maybe it's happiness, relationships, and money. Those 4 things, and time. That's like 5 things. Those 5 things are what people will spend money on. They will spend money on getting more time. They will spend money on making more money. They will spend money on having better relationships. They will spend money on being more healthy, losing weight, looking better. And they will spend money on, what was my last one? Happiness, time, relationships. No, I forgot it. But those 5 that I said initially, those are the topics that people will spend money on. So look in your lifestyle blog overall. Are you covering any of those topics where people already spend money? And then maybe you can create a small ebook or course about that. So you want to tackle a problem. Okay. Paper Flow Design says, question, do you suggest we use the Cornerstone label for pillar posts in the back end of WordPress? I think that's a Yoast thing, right? I haven't checked it yet. I will look back into it. I want to say yes, but I'm going to Google that and make sure that I understand exactly what you're talking about. All right, Paper Flow. Okay, cool. Mary, I'm glad you like it. Aaron says, I have courses, ebooks to sell. What services do you use for people to pay for them? Can you do this through Divi? Okay, Aaron, to sell stuff. Okay, courses, ebooks. This is a hot topic. So if you want to sell courses, you can go to an all-in-one solution like Teachable, Thinkific, Podia. Those are places that host the course for you. They manage the students, and then they also do all the payments for you. So the shopping cart and the hosting of the course material. So you can do that. I use Teachable. No tool is perfect. I like Teachable. Sometimes I don't like them, but most of the time I like them. John actually hosts his courses on his own website. So he does that all through plugins and a lot of tech stuff. So that's a solution as well. Or you could use kind of a combination between the two. I know John has used Thrive Apprentice, which actually creates a course on your website, and then he uses Thrive Cart or Sendal to sell the course. So then you have 2 programs, one to host and then one to sell a shopping cart. So it just depends. If you want the easiest solution, go with a Teachable or a Thinkific. Teachable works really well. And then that's for courses. If you just have ebooks and printables to sell, something like super simple, you just want to be able to collect payments and then deliver the goods to them, Sendal is like $9 a month. Works really well. They actually allow you to do upsells and downsells, so it's pretty nice. If you just have smaller products to sell, Sendout is a great place to start. And then eventually, if you have courses, you can move to something a little bit more expensive, but more powerful, like a Teachable. Okay, Beth says, when is the best time to start selling an ebook? Is there a certain number of subscribers you need? So there's pros and cons. Beth, you can go ahead and create the ebook if you have nobody on your list. You have a higher percentage that people might not buy it because you don't really have an audience yet and you don't know exactly if they will. But if you have done some kind of market research and you know that people will buy this, you can create the ebook now. And then as you grow your list, you can present them with the ebook like, hey, I have this ebook as well that's going to help you. Would you like to get it at a discount or whatnot? I would suggest, to be very conservative, have 500 to 1,000 people on your email list. Ask them what they're struggling with. Ask them if they're interested in this idea that you want to create an ebook on. If they say yes, then create the ebook and then launch it. You can do either way. You'll be more successful if you grow the list first, ask them, and then give it. But you might make a couple sales if you create the ebook now and start selling it as you grow your list. So there's just pros and cons of each. I do suggest growing your list first and then doing it. Kinga says, question, do you know what happened with Keyword Finder? Looks like they've restricted free accounts. No, I thought they were still free. So I will check that out, Kinga. Yes, I will definitely check out what's going on with Keyword Finder. Thank you for letting me know. Robin says, does the slide deck explain how to get the Moz Authority extension? Yeah, just go to Moz bar. Here, Moz Products Pro SEO Toolbar. I will copy and paste that for you guys. Oh man, I'm gonna need that Coke. Okay, Guiding Autism says, I don't feel like I have the authority or experience to answer everyone's questions, nor am I sure that I want that responsibility. However, I couldn't show the world what we do that works for us. However, couldn't I? Sorry. However, couldn't I show the world what we do that works for us? Yes. Yeah, you can definitely, if you don't have the authority or the expertise to answer all the questions about homeschooling for autism, you can show people like, this is what we do. This is what has worked for us. And then you can interview experts. You can get expert quotes from people who are very well versed in this specific niche and get them to maybe give you one or two sentences, and that can help your post have more authority. Or you can just share what works for you. What have you guys done? What works for you when you're homeschooling somebody with autism? So that's fine too. People like that as well, because the more real you are, the more people can relate to you, and that works really well for blogging as well. All right, let's see. I am still good. Okay. Hey, sweetie.
Did you hear somebody wanted to catch?
Thank you. Oh.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
2 hours. You're awesome.
Like no, it's only been an hour.
I know, but you're on it.
Am I on it for 2 hours? I have to go through all these questions.
You're awesome. Keep going.
Oh, this is so good. Okay. Kate Quinn says, I have a few blog posts that are starting to take off. Awesome! What's a good way to monetize a post with no affiliate links? No obvious spots for affiliate products. Okay. I recently saw that a blog, they had a couple pillar posts or main affiliate posts, where on these posts, they're very high converting blog posts that really go over like whatever they're trying to be an affiliate for, right? So they do the review of the product. They really kind of sell you on that item, but they don't link to that specific affiliate product in every single blog post. They link to that post. So from any of your blog posts that are doing well now, link to your pillar post that is your pillar authority or a pillar affiliate post, so that maybe in this blog post you can't link to the best computers, but you can link to the blog post that will convert them. So once they click over to that blog post, that's the one that has all the affiliate links, so you don't have to include it in every single blog post. Just link to your one main or couple money makers. Okay, Melanie says, if I make 5 to 10 pins for each post, how should I schedule all of them without spamming everyone? If I schedule all of them, will I be pinning the same post more than once a day? It depends. So Melanie, you can use Tailwind and actually see your schedule. You can see how much you're pinning per day. If you have their looping, the Tailwind looping feature, the smart loop, you can restrict it to not pin more than once per day to a specific board. You can add all those restrictions. One thing that I like, if I have my own niche boards, I can pin to them as many times as I want to. I don't spam them because my followers still see these pins, but I can pin to my own niche board 5, 10 times a day if I want to. Different pins, not the same pin 10 times in one day. But Melanie, if you want to pin more often, create more niche boards and pin to those frequently, because they're your own boards and you can fill them up with your own blog posts or your own pins. And making 5 to 10 pins for each post, that's awesome. That's really cool. Amy says, any tips on how to get backlinks? Reach out to other bloggers, anything else? Yes, you can definitely reach out to other bloggers that are in your niche. And I wouldn't do a link exchange, like blog A links to blog B and then blog B links to blog A. Google could pick up on that. Not saying that it does every single time, but it could. So I'd rather just not do that. Maybe you can link to blog A and then blog A can link to blog C and then C can link to whatever. You can link to different blogs. That's a way you can do that. Guest posting is a great way to get backlinks. It does take time and effort on your part because you have to go create content for somebody else, but you get the benefit of getting a backlink and they get the benefit of getting free content. So it's a good exchange. And then creating amazing content, creating great content that that people want to share and want to link to. That is the easiest way to get backlinks because it's happening organically. And then Amy, I did this recent case study on Mr. Neil Patel. And it was really good. And especially for our niches, if you have a visual niche, maybe crocheting or bullet journaling or kids activities, anytime you have a lot of pictures on your blog, Neil Patel did a blog post, and then I went through each of the steps that he suggested, and I did a case study on it. So I implemented each step. So the one that worked really well for me is the image link building. So what you do is you take that URL, what your image is, you plug it into Google image search, and then that will pick up anywhere on the internet where your specific image has been used. Then you'll go to every blog post that used your image, right? And if they did not link back to you, you email them and you tell them you better link, kind of like a more aggressive tone, and you tell them you better link back to me or remove my image. And 90% of the time they're going to link back to you because they're not allowed to use your image without your permission. So that's a great technique to get easier backlinks where people used your images without asking you. So I will drop this here, and the step-by-step method of doing this, it's on Neil Patel's blog. I just did my case study of how his tips worked for me, worked really well. And then he also gives you a template of what to email these people to get them to link back to you. Super, super smart guy. Okay, so definitely go through that. That's for you, Amy. Yeah, Lisa, so an impression in Pinterest means that somebody saw it, but they didn't click on it or repin it. They just they had an impression of it on their screen. That's how I see it. Okay. Kaveri says, how to identify SEO keywords for the content of your blog. I think we covered that in the beginning. If you miss a little bit of the beginning, that could be super helpful of how to find keywords to rank for. Okay. Heidi says, is Headline Analyzer free or a paid tool? It's free. It is free. I love free stuff. Beth says, I'm launching my blog next month. Congrats. What should I focus on over the next 6 months? Creating amazing content. and then using the steps in the beginning of this coaching call to make sure that you're writing the right types of blog posts. You're not going to rank in Google for a couple months because your blog is brand new, but you'll know what type of blog posts to write so that you can share them on Pinterest and Facebook. And if somebody is searching for them on Google, they're definitely searching for them on Pinterest as well. So you know at least the content that you're creating is helpful on the other platforms. All right, so and Beth, again, in this one blog post, I went through, where you go, the blogging basics. I'll go to it again and make sure that you get it, especially if you're just starting out. This is helpful to see kind of the steps to growing a blog, the building blocks of blogging. I put that together just so that you see like where are you and what step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, and that will help guide you a little bit. That's for you, Beth. Okay. Okay, Liz says, do you feel you're doing all the right things, but you're not seeing results? How would you diagnose how to proceed? Okay. I would give it some time, Liz. So honestly, a lot of times blogging is a long-term game. So it takes time for things to get traction. I would dedicate maybe a month to a new strategy. That's what I do. I give it at least a month of doing something consistently to see, should I keep doing this or should I stop it? A lot of times I do things and I test out new ideas and they fall flat. And I really expected them to do better, but it's because I'm constantly testing and trying things out that I find things that work. But I also find lots of things that don't work. So I would give it some time, stay consistent with whatever strategies you're doing, and then you'll start seeing if it works. If it doesn't work after trying for a month and doing it consistently, then try a different strategy and go with that. Okay, question. Should you spend money on graphics mockups for your freebies? I made some Valentines for a free download, but I need to pay for the proper graphic. You could. You could pay for graphics. It will make your freebies more, more unique. You can either pay for graphics. You can create your own graphics. I know for my stock images for my blog, I take my own images, just because I don't want to either pay for images or I don't want to make sure that I do the right attribution and give everybody credit. So I just take my own stock images. Is there anything that you can do yourself? Do you have a friend that could create graphics for you? On Fiverr, you can get somebody to create graphics for $5 to $10 per graphic, not too much. Especially if you're going to be selling this, it might be good to then get somebody to help you create professional ones. I think it's Design Cuts. I like Design Cuts. I've bought a lot of my graphics here. So when I do buy graphics, I'll buy them through here, like infographics, pretty fonts, really amazing stuff. If you sign up for their newsletters, they'll send you deals. Like every now and then. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. So this whole Africa watercolor collection is $16. How beautiful is that, guys? Oh man, I want to switch niches and blog about this. Oh wow, that is so beautiful. People are so talented. Well, I might go buy this and just make something cute for my kids. Okay, I get stuck on Design Cuts. I can really get stuck. Oh, it's all Africa. If you guys don't know, I am from Africa. So there you go, right there. Right there, that's where I'm from. Okay, so yes, you can go to Design Cuts as well. Sorry, I got distracted there. John, I'm here but with the kiddos. Melinda says, for relating key phrases on keywords everywhere, how many times should we include those phrases in a blog post in order to rank for them? I've heard between 1% and 3% of your blog post should have those key phrases. I've had blog posts rank for a key term on page 1 that I didn't even put in the blog post. I would say at least use it in your first paragraph, use it in your last paragraph, use it in at least 1 or 2 headings, and then somewhere in the body. That's 5 places, right? So first paragraph and your heading. Your heading, well, now it's 6. Use it in your heading, in the body, in the headlines once or twice, and then at the end as well. All right, so you don't have to do like keyword stuff. Just use it naturally as it occurs in your headings and in your body of your blog post. Cool. Okay, I have lots of Heidi's on here. It's not the same Heidi asking all the questions. There's lots of Heidi's on here. Question, do you find Divi to be slow loading? I have had people tell me my site loads slow. What have you done to make sure your site loads fast? Yes, Divi is a big page builder in theme. It does load slow depending on kind of how many images you have and how many things you have going on. There is about 5 comments up. John has a blog post that goes through all the things that he's done to speed up his website. It's really helpful. One thing that I found, I have Divi on my site, is I just have really large images. I never compress them before I put them on my site. And I finally got Short Pixel, the plugin, and that compresses my images for me. So that really helped. Brittany says, have you ever used PLR content for your blog and is it worth it? No, I haven't used PLR content. I know about it. I know some people use it. I think it's like buying content and then making it pretty and making it yours. I haven't done it myself, so I'm not a very good resource on that. Cool. Okay, Aaron says, so do you have to pay for Tailwind too? I didn't hear you say that in the list of, oh yes, in the list of services I pay for, yes, I pay for Tailwind as well. And not just for Tailwind normal scheduling, but for Tailwind Smart Loop as well. So that's an additional cost. And then it's not just for Startup Mom Blog, it's for Mom Life, Happy Life too. So I pay out the nose for Tailwind to schedule and loop my pins. Yeah, so I pay for that as well. But if you're just starting out with your blog, you don't need all these expensive tools. I'm only doing them now because they save me time, so that I can focus on doing things like this. I can create products, I can create more content, and then the manual things that a program or a system can take care of for me, I would rather pay that system to take care of that than me do it manually. In the beginning, you can definitely grow your blog by manually pinning. Definitely possible, but once your time just gets too limited, you can start investing in more tools, but you don't need all these tools in the beginning. Okay, Elizabeth says, what is your advice for a very niche down blog that can only get so many viewers? That's good. Like, don't put ads on your blog. I would definitely advise don't put ads on your blog because ads work really well with high traffic blogs. So if you know your blog is a very small niche, don't put ads on there. You'll probably have smaller page views, but really high conversions. So like if you recommend the right things, if you're the only blog on this specific niche and you know there is an audience for it, your conversions will be higher. And I would suggest like really getting engaged with your audience. If you know your audience is small and you're not going to have a lot of people coming to visit your content, really engage with them one-on-one, do lives, do YouTube videos, answer every single email so that you build that audience, and then you can ask them to buy multiple products. So, hey, here's a new affiliate thing that I recommend for this niche. Here is an ebook that I wrote. Here, the ebook goes into a course. You can get a smaller audience to spend more than one time on your products in your blog. Okay, Mandy says, where can I get more stock photos for my blog? I have a lot from your courses, thank you, but is there another great place to get specific free and paid? Yes. So Mandy, oh, isn't that cute? So cute. Okay, I go to Pexels. There's multiple free stock images sites. Pexels is one that I really use and love. Man, they're cool. They have little videos. And then you can type in here like mom and baby. That one's so popular. But yeah, so here's the mom and baby pictures that you see everywhere. You can use them from Pexels. Oh, so cute. Canva has free images as well. So if you go here, your Canva images, this was a free image. This is a free one. These are all free images that you can get here from. If you go to Elements, go to Free Photos, and you can search through here. Some of them are paid. Sorry. And then some of them are free that you can use. Some of them are part of the Pro account, so you can just take them. And when I do use stock images, what I like to do is zoom in on a specific part of the stock image. So I don't like to use it just as is, because a lot of people use it just as is, but I try to make a stock image look a little bit more unique. So I'd like zoom in on that and then put my title over it, right? I wouldn't just use it exactly how you see it. Or maybe I'll just zoom in on the pineapple there on the side and then put my title, my pin image over it. So just a different way to be a little bit more unique with stock images. And then if you just Google free stock images, Pexels is the one I use. Then love Canva. There you go. Unsplash is another one that I've heard people use. It's also pretty. If we go here, mom and baby. Again, more artsy pictures. Really cool. Really pretty pictures. Awesome. Okay, so those are 3 places you can get free stock images. Liana says, does the Blog by Number course discuss how to work and promote on Pinterest? Yes. And it actually shows you how to create those pin images as well. So yes, it does. Erin says, what is your husband's blog? I'd like to share it with my hubby for inspiration. It's called Income Mesh. So John's blog is here, Income Mesh. He did not choose the name. Do you see how quickly that loads? His blog is like insane. It's like 1 second loading. He bought an older blog. So the blog has like that domain authority and that age from Google, because it's like a 5-year-old blog, but it's been kind of dormant for the last 3 years. So he bought it. He didn't choose the name. Well, it's fine. But it has good domain authority and good backlinks, and so he's blogging on this. So that's hubby. That's hubby. Here you go, and that's all his blog posts. So yeah, that's where John is. Okay, Melinda says, do you think investing in courses and tools is a good idea if you aren't making money yet? Yes, Melinda, they are, if you complete the course. Yes. I highly suggest going through courses. They're super helpful. You'll learn a lot. You'll save a lot of time and energy. Well, you'll save a lot of time. But you have to go through the course. If you're not going to go through the course, then it's not going to be helpful and you're going to be wasting your money. So whatever course you go through or buy, make sure you go through it and you implement it, and you actually take the time to go through and like do the homework. Otherwise, no course can give you success if you don't actually implement. So yes, I do believe in taking courses. I take courses. I invest in courses. I invest in tools and things to help me grow, but only if I know I'm going to be committed and going through the material. Okay, Kinga says, if my keyword is toddler travel bag, and in my article and title I changed it slightly, for example, toddler's travel bag, do I still rank for this keyword? Yes. Yes. Yeah, for that example, I love that, Kinga. So you're going for a toddler travel bag. That is your key term. Okay. Oh, okay, luggage. That's a word you can use. Plain bag. Luggage. Yeah, I would not even have thought about luggage. Suitcase. Man, I would not. Okay, so in your blog post, okay, so we'll do toddler. That is your key term. I would use luggage for toddlers, best travel bags for, gosh, is it children? Do they use children or kids? Kids, yeah. Kids. Cheap kids luggage, okay. Kids, best bag for toddler, best travel bag for toddlers. So I would use variations of all those. So you're kind of seeing that you're not just using toddler travel bag over and over and over. You're using variations of that word, and that's going to allow you to rank for that and these as well. All right, so if it's a really good post. Okay. Guiding Autism says she has 1,000 tabs open right now. Liana says, do you ever drop any of your not so good newbie posts as time goes on? Yes. Every couple months I do a really big SEO audit, and then I'll go through any of my blog posts that aren't really related to my niche anymore. I'll either delete them and just take them away, and then I make sure that URL redirects just to my homepage if it's not related, or if the blog post is goodish, but it's maybe competing with another blog post that I have on my blog, I would take it off, take that content, put it on one main blog post, and then redirect the old URL to that one. So yeah, I do delete stuff or redirect stuff every now and then if it's not helping my blog. Anna says, how do you research actual content for your posts? If you need 5 gifts to make for Mother's Day, do you take a class? Do you research certain reputable sites? Sorry guys, stumbling over my words. Okay, so you're probably talking about like the 5 gifts to make for Mother's Day. So when you're recommending stuff in your blog, and when I do, 99% of the time it's something that I've used myself or made myself. If it's not, then it's something that I have a close source of information to. So say, for example, my mom uses it and she loves it, or my aunt uses it, or my sister. So you could either ask your friends and family and close friends to help you get good recommendations for your 5 gifts to make for Mother's Day, or it's something that you make yourself. Even if you want to go wider, you can research or reach out to other bloggers and ask them, hey, what's your favorite thing to make for Mother's Day? And then they can send you back a little blurb, and you put that in your blog post. You can link back to them, but you get the content and they get a backlink. All right, so that's kind of how I research that. Ooh, Melanie says, do you have anything that shows how to create a homepage using the Astra theme? I would love to teach you guys how to do that. Melanie, if you want me to include that in the Blog by Number course, just say yes. I didn't want to be too advanced, but I know there's some people that would really benefit from it. So if you think that is something that I can add to the Blog by Number course, I would absolutely love to, and show you guys how to create that static homepage in the Astra theme. Melanie, also in that email, could you just let me know like kind of what you want it to look like? Give me some examples of what's in your mind, so that I know that what you're looking for, and I'm not creating something that I think you're looking for. So yes. Okay. Kate Quinn says, where am I? Oh, please. Oh Lord, there's so many questions. Deleting not so hot older posts, yes or no? Yes, I delete posts that aren't doing that well, and I redirect them to my homepage or to a post that is more, is better. Guiding Autism. Question. I know you said you're not a YouTube guru yet, but I'm wondering how you're currently tying YouTube into your blog. Schedule posts that link to YouTube videos and videos that link to the blog post for freebies. Okay, so currently what I'm doing with YouTube is repurposing content. So I do, and this is honestly why I do those lives on Thursday, where I do the little lesson in the beginning and I don't answer any comments. It's just me teaching a lesson, so that at the end I can take that piece of that video file and I can cut out the beginning where I'm saying hi, and I can cut out the other end where I'm answering questions, and I take that little lesson and then I repurpose that into a YouTube video. So that's worked really well for me, because I'm building engagement while I'm doing the live, I'm answering your questions, and I'm creating content for YouTube. So that's how I've done YouTube. Works really well. There's probably a lot of things I could be doing on YouTube that I'm not, but for now I know where I can focus, and I think that's kind of sufficient for what I can do. And that's just kind of the mentality that I have about this is I'd rather do 80% of what I can than not do it because it's not 100%. Like, the videos aren't perfect. I'm not like doing the normal YouTube videos like, oh, please subscribe and this is my YouTube video and thanks for visiting me on YouTube. It's just like me going straight into the lesson. So I'm trying my best to grow both platforms at once without spending so much time on it. Okay, Brooke says, hi Susie, just joined the call. Sorry if you answered this already, but I'm wondering about the mastermind group. How do I go about finding a group of moms to do this? How did you form yours? So in the beginning, about a couple years ago, there was a big Facebook group for moms, and we just kind of started chatting, and that's kind of where I found my mastermind of mom bloggers that we kind of have a small group between, I think, 7 of us in there. And then I have different kind of masterminds. Some of the groups have 4, some have 7, some have 25. So it was all from Facebook groups of how I found other bloggers to connect with. Candace says, if I have a very high Moz score on my social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, is there a way to use that to help my blog? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, those are always going to have high Moz scores. They're very high authority sites. So my Facebook page has the same Moz score as Facebook because it's on Facebook's platform. The best way to use those social media platforms for your blog is to share your blog posts on there. It's not going to share any of the SEO juice back to your blog because all the links on social media is no follow. But it will help your blog get more social shares, and that in turn will show Google that you have more social proof behind your blog post, and that will help it rise up. Okay, thanks, Lisa. Melanie says, should we use the exact phrase of the related keywords in Keywords Everywhere? I think I answered that just a minute ago, but use the exact phrase if it's natural to your blog post. Otherwise, use combinations of that phrase. Oh, cool. Okay, Jennifer says, okay, cool, that's not a question, it's a statement. Cool. Okay, Liana says, do you have any tips on how to refer back to any references or other articles that you might refer to? Not sure if I'm making sense. Do you have any tips on how to refer back to references or other articles? Are you talking about your own blog post or somebody else's, an external link? So external sites, you can probably create a Trello board of like, these are all the sites that I like to link to. They're reputable sites. This is where I can get research on my specific topic. So you can make a Trello board or a Google spreadsheet of all the sites that you like to link to. But then for your own site, it's like, say for example, you've been blogging for a couple of years and you have tons of blog posts and you don't even know what blog posts you have anymore. There's a plugin that I use. It is called Export All URLs. So, where is it? I think, let me get the name for you guys. Plugins, install plugins. But I use it. I export all the URLs that's currently on my blog, all the blog posts that I've written. That shows me like a list of 200 blog posts. Because sometimes it's hard for me to find on my own blog what I have written. So let me find the name of the... Yeah, it's just called Export All URLs. Let me get a link to it. So if you want to just have like an Excel spreadsheet of all the blog posts that you've written, this one is great. I've used it. There you go. I'll link that for you. Okay. Kaveri says, how do you create images that are overlapped over one another that you want to promote several freebies in a single Pinterest image? I have a video on this. Where did I add it? I have a video on that. Is it on my... I think it's in one of my courses, Kaveri. I use PowerPoint. The short answer, I use PowerPoint to do that. But I have a video to show you how exactly to do that. So send me an email. Just let me know that I can send you the link to that video. Melanie says, if you have a guest post on another blog, can you also post it on your own blog? No. I mean, technically you could, and then you can tell Google that don't rank this one. But it gets a little hairy, and then it's just a little confusing. What I would do is write the guest post for another blog, and then on your own blog, write a little summary of it, like a little cliff notes. Much shorter, just a little blurb on it, and then you can link to your guest post. Just send that more juice and comments and like have that one rise up. But no, I would not duplicate content on both. All right, guys, how am I going to take a bathroom break? I'm like way at the top of the comments, so if you guys leave a comment right now, I'm not seeing it. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick because we're still going, and it's been an hour and a half, and I still have a ton of questions. So everybody, 5-minute break, 2-minute break. I'll be quick. 2-minute break. I have to run to the restroom, and then I'll be right back, okay? I'm going to put it on here, okay? Golly. How else do you do this, right? Insert, text box, 2-minute restroom break. All right? Should have planned this. Okay. I'll be right back. Alright, so this is how you guys know this is very real. I can't hold it for that long. It's been an hour and a half. Okay, back to webcam. Thank you guys. Alright. Kingo says, do you have any tips on sponsored posts? Finding and pitching clients? When should you start with sponsored posts? Sponsored posts do really well if you either have a very small niche but a loyal following, or if you have a large social media following, because sponsored posts want to get the audience to see it. I know Michelle Schrader has a new course on sponsored posts, so that's a resource that you can look at. She's done it more than I have. For sponsored posts, sometimes I just reach out to the company and I ask them, hey, I would like to write a sponsored post on your specific product. Would you like to send it to me for free? And every now and then they do. So you could just reach out to them directly if it works really well with your content and your audience. You can kind of sell them in that email, be like, this is what I have to offer you. I have 10,000 people that follow me on Instagram. I have 10,000 people that follow me on Facebook. I would be happy to do a live for your specific product. I would be happy to do a blog post or a YouTube video. Kind of sell them and tell them what you're going to create for them if they want to pay you or send you products. So that's kind of my tips on sponsored posts. But I know Michelle has a course that probably goes in way more depth than that. Okay, Cherie says, how do I know what keywords I rank on Google and the page? Golly, I will have to, I think you can do it with, like with the internal Google tools, with like Webmaster Tools. I will get back to that one because I currently pay for a tool that does it for me. So I'm just going to be playing around on my computer to try to show you that. But I will get back to you on that, Sherry. Beth says, what do you use for your privacy policy and disclosure policy? There's a website called termly.io where you can pay for a privacy policy and a disclosure policy. So that would be helpful to use. Okay, Liana says, while your blog is still new, about a month, and you're still learning, how often would you post? I work full time, so anything I do on my side after my toddler goes to bed, so time is precious. How often? I would consider a posting schedule something that you can stick with. If you can stick with 4 times a month, that is fantastic. If you can only stick with 3 times or twice a month, start with something that's attainable. Because initially when you're blogging, you're kind of proving to yourself that you can do this. So I'd rather have set yourself up for success than shoot so high that you're not going to get it and then you give up. So Liana, let's start with twice a month. And if you can hit that, go up to 3 times a month, 4 times a month. That would be helpful. But obviously the answer is the more you blog, the more content you create, the more traffic you're going to get, and the more chances you have of something doing really well. But start small and do something that you can stick with. Oh, you have to like the stream? Oh, cool. Yeah, I guess you can sign up for my channel. Or the YouTube thing. Okay, let's do the YouTube thing. If you guys can subscribe to my channel, that'd be awesome. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Guiding Autism. Okay, Heidi says, should we guest post when we're still trying to add content to our own blog? How many articles do I need to have on my site before I should start guest posting? Good question. Yes, you should start guest posting as soon as you can. As soon as you have somewhat of a blog up. Guest posting does multiple things for you, and it helps you, especially if the blog that you're guest posting on has a higher domain authority. Heidi, I would at least have 5 to 10 blog posts up, have an established freebie where somebody, when they come to your blog, they can sign up to your email list. So definitely have that, because if you do get any traffic back from the guest post, you have some way to get them on your email list, and it's not just a page view, but it's actually an email subscriber. So I would definitely have that. Have a handful of blog posts that makes you look legit, and then have a dedicated freebie that people can sign up for, and then go ahead and start guest posting so you can start getting backlinks. Moan says, have you heard any reviews about Showit in the blog platform? I have not, but I will look that up. Soundtrack for the Journey says, question, have you ever tried Squarespace to build a site? I have not. In the past, I've heard not so good things about Squarespace, and only recently I'm starting to hear better things about Squarespace. I know one of my blogging friends is on Squarespace, and she's moving over to WordPress. There might be some limitations to what you can do in Squarespace, and it is also a little bit more expensive to have a Squarespace site, but they do look beautiful, and they are a viable option. So if you're in love with it, you do you. That's what my husband says. Oh, cool. That's so funny. Yeah, John, I help you with your pin images. Okay, Beth says, how long does it take to make a full-time income? Depending on how much work you put in, Beth, it all depends on how much work you can put in to start making a full-time income. And there's multiple ways that you can get to that faster. For example, John quit his job in December, and it's January, and he's almost already replaced his entire month salary, what he would have had at his corporate job, he's already making online. But it's because he's doing service work and consulting work. So he posts YouTube videos, and then he gets clients, and then he trades his time for dollars. So he does client work, and he gets paid for it. So that's the quickest way that you can make money online, is by offering your services and trading time for dollars, right? So you can either create printables for somebody, you can be a VA, you can do a freelance writing, you can offer consulting or services, multiple ways where you can trade time for dollars. Then with blogging, the long term where you're creating scalable income, which is a little bit more passive, where you're creating courses or products, or people are going through your affiliate links, or you're making affiliate commissions, or you're getting ad revenue. All those things kind of depend on your traffic and your audience that you've already grown. So those things are a little bit more long-term solutions that would take longer to get to. Could be a couple months, depending on how much time you put in. But you could start making money today by offering some kind of services on your blog. So it all depends. If you hustle, you can do it within a year. Definitely. But you gotta hustle. Oh, cool. Cool. Now you guys are just chatting. Okay, Heidi says, I started a lifestyle blog years ago. Then years later, an author launched a relatively popular book with the blog's title. Do you think I'll be able to rank well even in this case? Wow. That is a new question. You might have to see if you can still use that blog title. Like if they trademark their book title and they now own that phrase, you might not be able to use your blog anymore. You could then, if you can't, you could redirect it to a new blog. So don't worry, not all is lost. If they didn't, it might actually help your blog rank better. So if people are searching for that popular book, they could come to your blog, like it could rise in rankings. It could also hurt you because now they're looking for that book and your blog showing up. I don't know. If you can send it to me, that's a little bit more detailed question. But I would definitely make sure that you can still use that title. Most likely you can, but I would kind of make sure. Okay. Tired Mom Supermom says, what if you don't want to have an email list? What? Can you still make money with affiliate marketing on Pinterest? Yes, you could. You could still make money with ads or affiliate marketing or selling products. You don't have to have an email list. It's super helpful, and it really helps you connect with your readers and understand who they are and converts higher. But yes, it is all still possible. There are niche sites, and there are bloggers that don't have email lists. They just create content. They kind of want to be behind the scenes, not really connect one-on-one. And they set up these authority sites, and those don't have email lists. So yes, possible, just a different strategy. Okay, Heidi Miller says, question, do you recommend Amazon KPD for smaller products you create? What's KDP? Kindle? I'll have to research that, Heidi. I want to put my ebook on Amazon. I do. I just haven't had time or the energy to do it. So yes, I would tap into Amazon if I could. Yeah, definitely. Anne says, best time to post your pins on Pinterest. I've heard it's best to post time-sensitive seasonal months in advance so they get picked up by the time the post is relevant. Yes, and definitely. So posting Valentine's Day stuff now is almost already a little bit late because it's in 2 weeks. You should have posted Valentine's Day stuff right after New Year's so that it can start gaining some traction for February. I would start posting stuff about Easter right now. It's the end of January. I would start posting stuff about Easter. Maybe around February, start posting stuff about the summer, so summer activities. So definitely you want to be a couple months advance, like 2 or 3, so that your pins get some juice and they get seen by the Pinterest algorithm so that when that season comes up and people start searching for it, your pins already have some juice behind them. You guys are sweet. Oh, you're so cute. Beth says, do you have any tips for Pinterest? That is a loaded question. Yes. Pinterest is beautiful. Create multiple pins per image. Create different types of pins. So different branding, different colors, because you never know which one's going to be picked up, and different headlines as well. Same topic, but different headlines to get people to click through. And that also helps you, like say for example, you have 3 pins, they have 3 different headlines, and you see one of the pins doing really well, then take that headline and put it on your blog post so that it's kind of like an A/B testing of headlines, but you can do it through Pinterest. But there's other factors as well, because like what does a pin look like? So it's not perfect split testing. I do have tons of articles on Pinterest, Beth, on my blog. And another thing for Pinterest is creating those niche boards. That's really helpful. And then pinning often. So I would pin at night. If I wasn't using Tailwind, I would pin manually at night. And I would pin multiple pins to my own personal boards and to group boards. And that's kind of how I would start growing my following. Okay, Elizabeth says, how do you think about starting 2 blogs at the same time? I started a very niche blog, but also want a broader one that can earn better. How far along should the first one be before starting the second? That all depends on you, Elizabeth. If you have the capacity and the time to manage 2 blogs, then go for it. If your first blog has a solid strategy behind it and you know the system of how often you're posting to it, how often you're emailing your list if you're building a list through it, if you have a solid system for your first blog, then go ahead and move and create a second blog if you have the time and energy to do it. Abigail says, what are the determinants in pricing your first e-product, say an ebook? I'm more on the side of charging less and then over delighting my customer and over delivering than charging too much and getting people upset. So that's just my personal opinion. I know the experts say charge more, you make more, which is true. I just know my audience. I help and cater to stay-at-home moms, and we don't have big budgets, and we shop at the dollar side of Target, and like that's just like I know my audience's mentality. You also have to think about like what's your audience willing to pay, and then create the product that's in that range. Say for example, your product could be $500, then maybe splitting it into smaller products. And then keeping it within that price range of what your audience can pay, but then just making multiple products so that they can find the one that they want. Okay, Mandy says, on Mom Life Happy Life, can we guest post more than once? Yes, please. Does that help with SEO? If we did a post every couple months, does having the link more than once on a higher authority blog help? It helps the first time, it helps the most. It helps the most the first time. But how it can help if you want to post multiple times, Mandy, in every guest post, link to a different blog post on your side. So don't just link to your homepage every time, because then that SEO power or juice from Mom Life, which is maybe a little higher than yours, that's going just to your homepage. But link to different blog posts on every guest post that you're contributing, so that power goes to every guest post or every blog post on your site that you want to rank. So that's how it can help you by having multiple links from a bigger site, was you're spreading that SEO power across your blog into specific posts that you want to rank. All right. Monet says, are you familiar with private Pinterest groups like FB groups? I think I started one, or I dabbled in it. I just don't have time to be everywhere at once. So no, I haven't been in it. And for me, Pinterest is not so, I think they're trying to turn into a more social platform. It's just, no, it's not for me. Facebook is my social platform. Sorry, guys. Okay, Mandy says, how do you create pictures within a post? For example, how do you create the building blocks of blogging picture and the other images within your post? So that image itself was created in PowerPoint, and then I save it as an image, and then I just add it as an image onto my post. Mandy says, I can't find your post about the Facebook group's promotion schedule. Do I still have it up? No, I think I took it off because I wasn't updating it. So I didn't want to send people to something that I don't have updated. I want to make sure that people, when they land on my blog, the things are current and up to date. So I have removed that since, yes. How would I go about cleaning up my blog? I have a blog in a scattered niche trying to find out what to do. Now I'm settled. Should I delete the old blog post? So Brittany, what I would do if I was you is get that export all URLs plugin, and I would export all your blog posts. I just dropped the link below. I would export all your blog posts onto an Excel spreadsheet, and then I would categorize them and go through it with a fine-tooth comb and see which ones work in which categories, which ones you want to keep, which ones you want to redirect, and if you do redirect, where do they go? So that's what I would do. I would definitely get that big export and then look at it from that kind of viewpoint, and then deciding like what do I keep, what do I don't keep. Okay, Mandy says, I think I'm confused on backlinks and what they look like on your own a post or where to put them. Can you show us an example of backlinks that you have on your post? So the whole thing about a backlink, Mandy, is that it is not on my blog. So let's go to Tailwind. Tailwind blog. Susie Whitford. Let's see if I can find my guest post that I did on Tailwind's blog. All right, so I guest posted on Tailwind's blog because their blog is a little bit bigger than mine. And you can see here, so this is a guest post from me, and that's a backlink. So it's a link from a bigger site or a different site that links to your blog. All right, so you can see there they're linking to me. That one's a link to me. And then I wrote this enormous post for them, and I linked to my own blog a couple times to give my blog some of their SEO juice that they so kindly shared with me. So yeah, this is what a backlink looks like. It's just a link on a website, but it's a different website that links to you. Okay, cool. Mandy says, do you recommend the Yoast SEO paid training? I haven't taken it myself, but I know Yoast is a really good company. They probably have some amazing resources. So if it's not too expensive, I would go ahead and get it. It's a reputable source, so you probably would get a couple of really good gold nuggets from it. Okay, soundtrack for the journey. Question. I'm wanting to eventually use my blog as a platform for speaking. Is a speaking portfolio something I should add to my site as a page or link to? Any tips, links for portfolio creation? I would definitely add that to your blog if your blog is about kind of like an online resume. If your things are related to speaking, I would definitely add that to your site because it's a way to grow your authority and your brand. Any tips or links for portfolio creation? So is it just to like create a page on like an online resume? I think I have something here. This might help a little bit. So I used a template from Divi to kind of like showcase a media kit or in your case a portfolio. So here at the bottom, here I'm not very open with it. But you can see, okay, so this is like my online resume. It's like, hey, I'm Susie. This is what I do. If you want to guest post, if you want to advertise, these are the stats. I probably should go update these again. These are a little old. But a little bit about me, why I advertise on Start a Mom blog, advertising packages. So then you can have your speaking packages here. I would speak at a conference for pay me $500. I'll come speak for you. You need to include travel or whatnot. And then you can probably have like a showcase of other places where you have spoken in the past. And then you can include some testimonials. That's smart. So add some testimonials on your portfolio page and then a way for people to contact you. All right. So this was all just a template within Divi that I used that I thought looked nice, and I snagged it right up. Okay, question. What theme does John use? What theme does John use? I think he uses Thrive right now. He's using Thrive, and he is building with Gutenberg and Elementor. He actually can make Gutenberg look amazing, like Elementor and like a page builder. So he's pretty talented. He completely surprised me. I had no idea he had an eye for style and design. And then I looked at some of his stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna copy that. That looks good. So yeah, he is on Thrive Architect. Thank you, John. Awesome. Where am I now? Whew. Okay. Okay. Okay, Brenda says, where can I watch the blog map video again? It was last week's live teaching, but Brenda, it is on my homepage. If you go to startamomblog.com, scroll all the way to the bottom. There's 3 posts there. It's called What Topics to Write for Your Blog. It's right on my homepage. Cool. Brittany says, what tool do I use for SEO audits? I use Ahrefs. Ahrefs. It is an intense tool. It is pricey, but it is awesome. I love all the data. Laura says, how many courses would you take at a time? Right now I have your blog course, a Facebook page course, a Facebook group course, and a Pinterest course, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. Yeah, no kidding. I would feel overwhelmed too. I would take a course, maybe 1 or 2 at a time. I mean, even that is kind of hard. I would take a course and implement it, or at least go through it and feel like, okay, I've absorbed everything I can about this course. I'll go implement for a week or 2, and then I'll move on to the next thing. Otherwise, you're going to get overwhelmed trying to do multiple strategies at once. All these strategies work. Like Pinterest works, Facebook works, YouTube works, SEO works. All these strategies work. You just can't do them all at once. And it's overwhelming, and you're just going to sit there or lay awake at night and be like, I can't get to everything. Blogging is no fun. I'm overwhelmed. Any of these courses and strategies are going to help you grow. Some will help you grow a little faster, some a little slower. But if you invest in a course and you put money down for it, go through it. I definitely, I'm preaching to myself. I just paid for a $200 course, and I'm like, come on, Susie, I need to go through it. I went through half of it, and now I'm still implementing. And I learned so much that now I need to go through the other half of it. So that's a lot of courses to go through at once, Laura. So take one at a time, implement, and then move on. Question, what do you use to redirect those old blog posts? It's a plugin called 301 Redirect that I use. Either that or Pretty Links. I use Pretty Links as well. Okay, yeah, Jennifer. So how do you redirect links from a blog post that you delete? So there's a plugin called 301 Redirects or Pretty Links that I use. I just double sure that I use that one. Yeah, it's called Redirection. Manage all your 301 redirects and monitor errors. The plugin is called Redirection. Okay. Cool. Okay. Yes. Please include how to build a homepage in Astra in the Blog by Number course. All right. I will be on that. Yay. Okay. Question. How do you know if a post is doing well or not? I check my Google Analytics. I see if the blog post is getting traffic. So that's how I know what are my top 10 blog posts. What should I do more of? How much traffic is a blog post getting? Is it increasing traffic? Is it dying? What am I doing right or wrong? I use Google Analytics for all that. Cool. People like it. Okay. Laura says, how much time do you spend on researching a post? Depends on how much I need to research. I know some posts have taken me up to a month to research because the research also requires me to do the work and to go test out different strategies and implement them. So it just depends. If I'm already well versed in the topic, I can go ahead and write the blog post and have it done in a week. If I need to spend time researching and experiencing it and testing it, then it could take me months before I can actually write the blog post. So it just depends on how much I need to do for it. Cool. Thank you, Anne. I love that. Brittany says, have you thought about recording a pre-recorded intro for the YouTube clips? Yes, I have, Brittany, and I wanted to. I'm like, I'm doing these Facebook Lives. I can just take the Facebook Live video. I'm cutting off the beginning and ending, and I can have like a little fuller video for the front and back, right? That would be simple and be like, hey, I'm Susie from Starter Mom Blog. Here's my YouTube video or whatnot. I wanted to do that the one night, and then it was nighttime and the kids were in bed, and I just haven't made that a priority. So yes, fantastic idea. I need to get to that. It's on my to-do list. But thank you. Okay, Heidi says, question and a request. Can you please do a Thursday lesson on redirecting links when you delete blog posts? Sure. Well, I can just do it here now. Okay, I'm almost getting to the bottom of these question lists. So, okay, yeah, I think I'll do it here. Let's see. Okay, so you can either do redirection, which, gosh, I haven't used redirections in a while. Where is it? So after you install the plugin, it's called redirection. I think it's in here, tools. It'll be under tools, redirection. And you'll click on add new. And the source URL, the one that you want to redirect, you'll put that in there, and then you'll put the target URL where you want it to land and redirect to, and that one, and you'll click on Add Redirect. All right. So hopefully that helps you, Heidi. You can do it through Tools, Redirection, and the plugin is called Redirection. Cool. All right, hope that helps. Okay, Patty says, can you do a lesson live on creating your own stock images? What backgrounds, lighting to use? Sure. And I also have somebody, like a close friend, she sells stock images. And we can maybe we can have her. That would be awesome. I can reach out to her and see. She blogs over at Ivory Mix. So I can teach you guys what I do for my stock images, but we can also ask her to come on and share her beautiful stock images. Like they're gorgeous. Look at this. She's really, really talented. A little bit more talented than I am, slightly. Humble brag. Wow. Okay, so Ivory Mix, if you guys want to support her, I think I have an affiliate link in the course. Do I have one? Is it just a nice one? Ivory Mix. Does it? Do I have a link for it? I do! Yay! If you go to startamomblog.com/ivorymix, that you'll get access to her free stock library, and you get 500 stock images. She's awesome. I love her. All right. Aaron says, so what way do you find is best way to earn income? I've heard you say not to do ads, and you don't do much sponsor posts. So when you started out, where did you see the income? Aaron, my first income was through affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing was great. I didn't need to make money right away. That's why it was okay for me to kind of grow slow and to wait for traffic to come in and for those affiliate conversions. Affiliate marketing is great. Product creation. And then, what's the last one? Like services. So services and consulting or freelance work. If you need to make money today, that's a great way to make it. The quickest way to make money with online is by offering your services and trading your time for dollars. So, but the first way I started making money online was through affiliate marketing. Okay, Beth says, how do you stay motivated and keep going when you feel discouraged or feel like nothing's working? I would take a break a little bit, Beth. I might take like a day or two off of the blog, and I will go exercise. I'll spend some time outdoors. The normal stuff to kind of like get my creative juices back. I have my best ideas when I am outside walking. Like I remember like most of my ideas coming to me when I'm giving the kids a stroll around the neighborhood, or when I'm exercising. It's when you're not thinking about the problem that the ideas come to you. So take a little bit of a break. That's one tip. Number two is make sure you have a big goal. Like what is your big reason for doing this? Because blogging does take a lot of time and a lot of work. You have to have that big goal to keep you motivated. My big goal was to get John home and retired from his job. And now I can give up. Now I can stop. Achieve my goal. No. Now my goal is to like keep him home so he doesn't have to go back to a corporate job. So I have that big goal. And then just understanding, like give yourself some grace. Like you're in it for the long run. I compare blogging a lot to working out. You're going to have to go to the gym often, or you have to go work out often. You're going to have to eat correctly. There's a lot of things you're going to have to do if you want to have this goal body that you're looking for. So it's a lot of work, but the results will come if you put in the time. You just kind of have to stay motivated, but it is hard. Yeah. Beth says, what's the quickest way to generate traffic? Most likely it's Pinterest. Pinterest is a quick way to get traffic to a new blog. And then she also asked, what is the key to high converting rates? I think authenticity. That really helps people convert. Because if they land on your post, and they see that this product, whatever you're recommending, has worked for them, they see the before and after results. So the results help with converting rates. Your authenticity, how true are you in giving your testimonial about this product? Like, is there a video about you using it? Testimonials, like have other people used it or gone through this process and did it work for them? And then their intent. When they came to your blog, did they have an intent of buying, or were they just kind of browsing? So also their intent. So those things help with having your converting rates go up. Nikki said, I read you were not able to create a freebie just to add people to your list within GDPR. Does that only apply to people in the EU? How do you get around that? I'm so confused. I read you were not able to create a freebie just to add people to your list. When they sign up for your freebie, you have to have verbiage in the disclosure that's saying okay, you're signing up for this freebie, but you're also going to get my weekly newsletter. Are you okay with that? By signing up for this, you're getting added to my list. So if you have the verbiage correct, that should be okay. I'm going to send more details on that. There's a really good blog post that I can send to you, Nikki, about that. Beth said, what are the best freebies to start out with? So Beth, the best ones are things that you think to yourself, would you actually use it? And would you print it out and put it on your refrigerator? Is it that helpful? You want to make sure that the freebies you create is something that you would use yourself. I see a lot of times people put together freebies and it's this elaborate freebie, but they wouldn't even use it. I'm like, nobody's going to use this. So make sure that your freebies are useful and helpful, and then people will download them. And it also helps if they look pretty. People like things that look nice. So Beth says, where do you begin when you're just starting to build an email list? You can start with MailerLite or ConvertKit. I use and love ConvertKit. It's helped me a ton in my blogging journey. John uses MailerLite, and they have a plan where you can start using them for free for a while and then eventually get into a paid plan. But either MailerLite or ConvertKit. And I cover both of those in my blog course called List by Number. Mandy says, you were talking about pinning months in advance on Pinterest to gain traction. Should you do this on your own blog with posts? If they're seasonal, yes. If your blog posts are seasonal, go ahead and pin them a couple months before that event happens. If they're not seasonal, just know that it takes a little bit for your post to pick up on Pinterest. Sometimes they go viral initially or right from the get-go. Sometimes it takes them some time. If they're not seasonal, just pin whenever. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. Cool. Yeah, I completely understand if some of you guys have to leave. We've been here for 2 hours. This is awesome. Monet says, yes, you can keep your personal Facebook page private, and you can keep your business page public. I would recommend that. I like to keep my personal stuff private, but my public page is public. Cool. Abigail says, what plugin allows commenters to be emailed follow-up comments? I think that's built into WordPress. I think there's a checkbox that somebody checks once they submit a comment. It's like, yes, I would like to know about future comments. If that's not right, John, if you can check that, because John's all about plugins. So he's going to help you on that. Cool. You guys are loving this. Okay. Abigail says, Facebook page versus Facebook group. Which one do you recommend for a new blog? If you have time to manage a Facebook group, they're super valuable. It's a great way to engage with your audience and build more trust and authority in your niche, and a way to quickly poll your audience and get their feedback and kind of see who they are. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do a Facebook group. So people have begged me to do one. I've never had the capacity to do it. I rather do the live chats on my Facebook page. I'm a little bit more in control of what happens on my Facebook page. Nobody can just post whatever they want to. And then my readers know that they can get me there on Thursdays. And that's where they can find me and ask questions. Do you use Hotjar to design your sites for highest conversions? No, I have not used Hotjar to design my site. But that's probably something that John, because he's all about conversions, would look into. And something that sounds really interesting. I'd love to look into it. Okay, Lindsay says, sure, this is silly, but just wondering why you have to redirect a post link if you have deleted it. Lindsay, because you might have linked to this post somewhere else on your blog and you don't know it. And if somebody clicks on that link, it's going to go to a 404 broken link. So you want to make sure that anything you delete on your blog redirects, because you don't know if you link to that now dead blog post somewhere, or if somebody else in another website did. You want to make sure that redirects. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, Emily says, question, what kind of accounting and legal tools do you use for your sites? We are hiring people to help us with accounting and taxes on that account. So that's not something that I do. Yes. Question, can you redirect example with Pretty Links too? Can I do a redirect example? Sure. Let's do a redirect example with Pretty Links as well. Okay, so if we go, that was using redirection. If we go to Pretty Links, you'll go to add new Pretty Link. And again, that's a plugin. And you'll put the target URL there, the one you want the post to go to now. You'll have the old one here. So this is the old blog post. That's your old blog post. And then this one is, you want it to redirect to your homepage. So that's a way you can do that. The old blog post, you're going to have to put it in draft mode before you can create this Pretty Link, because Pretty Link is not going to want you to, it's going to see it as a duplicate URL. So you want to make sure that the old blog post is in draft mode, and you might have to change the old blog post URL as well to make sure that Pretty Link is not seeing duplicate links. So the old blog post you can change to -2, and then make sure that here you have the real old blog post URL, and that redirects to your homepage or to wherever you want it to go. Okay, I'm at the bottom of the question list. Laura says, which is better to work on first when starting from scratch? The 100-day building your email challenge or your 2019 blog plan? Golly, I would have to go make sure that the overlap between the two, they don't like conflict with each other. But the blog plan is a whole year worth of steps. So I would work on the blog plan along with the 100-day list building challenge. I would do the blog plan, say like the first or 2 months of it, and start building your blog and your content, getting a solid strategy. Then I would look at the 100-day challenge to build your email list, do those two at the same time, and then once that's done, then go back to the blog plan. But the blog plan is a whole year plan, and the challenge is only 100 days. All right, guys, this has been amazing. If you guys can leave a comment or shoot me an email, did you like this group coaching call? Is this something that is valuable to you? It is almost 3 times as long as my normal Facebook Lives. Did you like that there were much less people watching it, so I could get to every single question and show you guys examples? Give me a little bit of feedback, what I could improve if you liked it. How valuable is this for you? And then additionally, did you guys like the challenge? Because it was my first time assigning you homework and asking you to do something and then rewarding you with this private group coaching call. Was that valuable to you? Would you like me to do something like that every month? Maybe like have a challenge of the month and then reward you with a group coaching call? What kind of reward would you want for the work that you put in? A group coaching call, coupons, a giveaway? Would it be better if you're like in a drawing for like a $50 Target gift card, but then not everybody wins it, only one of the people win it? Let me know what kind of rewards and challenges you want to do. I'm all open. I really love this. Everybody who's here and who got an invite for this group coaching call, you guys will get a link to the replay. But don't share it. This is private to you guys because you worked hard and you finished your blog plan and you submitted it. So this is something very special to you. I have an idea of opening this up to my other subscribers, but not as a free opt-in, as a paid product. So this group coaching call is super valuable. You guys are getting it because you guys did the work. All right. Cool. Cool. Really, really helpful. Thank you for all the comments, guys. Cool. Elizabeth says she liked it because it's more valuable because the people here are at a similar place. People here are serious. Love the challenge. Love the call. Made me actually implement. Cool. Mandy wants a discount. I might send you guys a little bit of a poll afterwards, just so that I know that I know, so I get your feedback and know what to do for the rest of the year, because I really like this challenge. I felt a little bit like a teacher assigning homework and then helping you guys through it, so I really loved it. All right, guys, that is it for today. It is 4:30. I am pooped. I'm so happy my voice lasted this whole time, and I will shoot you guys an email maybe later tonight. All right, thank you guys so much, and I think I'm just going to click on stop. Bye.